What's up, guys? Uh, I get a lot of messages pretty much constantly asking what's a good starter sharpening freehand uh, starter sharpening kit and what it takes to get a mirror polish. So I figured I know I'm still going to get messages a lot, and I'm fine with that. I answer every message I get eventually. But I figured the people who didn't want to message and are maybe curious about this would enjoy a video. So I thought about this for a while, and I chose items that are just necessary to get a knife from butter knife dull to hair whittling mirror polish, skipping all unnecessary steps in between. This is literally all you need to take a knife from, like I said, butter knife dull to hair whittling mirror polish sharp. And it's about $250 worth of materials, which seems like a lot, but if you buy it in increments, it's really not that much, and you don't have to buy all this at once. I suggest buying maybe one or two and then practicing, and then when you feel ready to move on, getting the whole set. And again, this is not the be-all, end-all sharpening set. Like I said, this is just for people who want to know the minimalist, the bare essentials they need to get a really sharp edge and a mirror polish. First off is a DMT coarse diamond stone, a die sharp. This is an 8x3, and this actually isn't a coarse stone. This is an extra fine, but just for our purposes, imagine this is a coarse stone. They actually don't look any different on camera. They do in real life a little bit. My course is actually with DMT right now, getting replaced. I had a little problem with about an inch long section up at the top, all the diamonds stripped out of it. They said they'd never heard of that, so I don't think it's very common. I've never heard of anybody having problems with their DMTs. But if something is going to be faulty, chances are I'm going to own that something. So I just kind of have that kind of luck. DMT coarse to set your bevel with. It doesn't matter what steel it is. This die sharp will reset the bevel extremely fast. It doesn't care what steel it is, what angle, anything. It just chews through the metal, and it does it quickly. This is the 8x3, probably the most expensive die sharp you can get. You can get smaller ones. You actually don't need this big size. This is just the one I ordered. I'll actually probably go smaller in the future because I find myself not needing this whole 8x3 plate. This is the very sharp or start of sharpening, and this is only necessary if your knife completely needs a new bevel. Next step is the Spyderco profile rods. I could have chose something different for this, but I like the profile rods because they are kind of this oblong concentric shape, and they're small enough to do recurves on if you need to, and they're just really good stones. I mean, they're really versatile, really easy to work with. They are the same grit that comes with the Sharpmaker medium and fine. They just come in these individual stones, and they're long enough to get really good strokes on. The only thing you need to worry about is running the tip off the stone, which is fairly easily since it's so thin. But the thinness kind of makes it easy to sharpen also. It makes it easy to get all the way to the heel of a knife and all the way to the tip. Sometimes on flat stones you kind of have to find your own way to get to the heel and the tip, and with these it's much easier. This is like 80 bucks, I think. These are like 40. I'm actually pretty sure you can get them cheaper than that. But it just comes in this leather case with a divider down the middle so the stones don't bang up against each other. And these should last a lifetime. This should last many, 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 many years. Thing with diamonds is you don't want to use a whole lot of pressure. You let the diamonds do the work, and it should last many years. I mean, I don't want to give a quote, but at least 10 of normal use, 5 to 10 depending on use. which is what I was quoted by DMT. So next step is where your mirror polish is going to come from. Before I say that, this is going to set the bevel, going to be a really coarse edge. This is going to refine it a little bit. This is going to refine that even further. Now you're ready for this stone, and this is going to be your mirror polish. This is going to be where that nice, clean, shiny edge comes from, and that last bit of sharpness. And it's not a small step. This takes your knife from really sharp to extremely ridiculously sharp, and it's just because it's such a fine stone. It's so flat. It's just the perfect stone. This is probably my favorite stone I own, other than Chaucer stones. It's just so versatile, and really, if your knife isn't dull, this is all you need to bring it back. If you just want to touch it up, just a few strokes on this stone and you're back to hair whittling sharp. For some reason, this stone is always cold. It doesn't matter what temperature it is. This thing's always cold. It's weird. Anyway, after coming off this white stone, running through these grits, it will not take very long in the stone to get a mirror polish. I would say just a few minutes on each side, and you'll have a mirror polished edge. I can guarantee that you'll get a mirror polished edge, but I can't guarantee you that it's going to be hair whittling sharp. That just comes with experience. It does come in its own leather case, which is very convenient to lay the stone on to keep it secure. It won't move around at all. After you're done with this stone, which the only way you're going to know you're done is by feeling the edge and looking at the edge. I mean, it's going to be mirror polished fairly quickly, but you're going to need to feel the edge to know when you've refined the edge past this stone. This is medium fine. This is technically Spyderco's extra fine stone, which I don't know the exact grit rating, but just based on the polish it gives, I would guess somewhere in between 5 and 10,000 grit. So it's a very high grit stone. After you're done with this, to squeeze out the very last bit of sharpness, I recommend the Knives Plus strop block. And I've done a couple videos on this strop before. It's just the best strop that I've ever found, and I've used a good number of strops. This thing is the easiest to get hair whittling edges on. A lot of other strops you have to play with the technique, your angle, your pressure. With this, I've never had to actually change my technique around. Always I've used extremely low angle. So I'm attacking, say I'm pulling this way, this is the edge over here. With normal knives, I run it at the angle of the edge. With this, I'm always low, just above parallel to the strop, and I'm running it with super light pressure. And I haven't come across a knife edge yet that hasn't gotten good results using that technique. And they're all different geometries, from 20 degrees inclusive all the way to nearly 60 degrees inclusive. So it really doesn't matter the edge geometry. This strop just seems to do its job no matter what. And it's only like 20 bucks. Forgot to give the price. This is about 80 bucks, I think. 80 to $90, depending on where you get it. This is about 20. Literally, this is all you need to get a hair whittling mirror polish. Now, sharpness is just going to come with experience and skill. So you don't just go buy this stuff and expect that the first time you use it you're going to get extremely sharp edges, because I didn't get extremely sharp edges the first time I used it. It just comes with skill. But I get many messages asking, what's a good starter sharpening kit? What do I recommend for a beginner sharpener for the whole gamut of everything from rebeveling to finishing? And this is probably the most simplistic kit, I guess you could say, that I've thought of. So just wanted to share this with you guys, and hopefully it helps somebody out. Eventually I can get into some of the more higher end things like the Chaucer stones and give more versatility in the kit, but as of right now, bare bones, this is all you need. So anyway, I hope this helps. Let me know if you want to see anything else, and I'll oblige happily. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.